Hey y'all, this is Nina Stevens, and I'm in the South where sushi is still called bait. So today, I'm going to go over, there is a problem that a lot of people that have fresh eggs, we have a problem with. And that is making hard-boiled eggs using fresh eggs. For some reason, hard-boiled, the fresh eggs don't peel as well or as smoothly or as pretty as store-bought eggs do. Fresh eggs will hang on to the shell and they will not be a pleasant experience to boil the egg and peel the egg to make like deviled eggs or something, egg salad, or use boiled eggs in whatever you're having. Well, I have tried, I don't buy eggs. I only use fresh eggs from my own chickens. So, to make a dish that uses boiled eggs be presentable, it's not an easy thing to do using fresh eggs because they don't peel when you boil them. Now, I've done several different ways. I've baked them. I've put salt in my water. I've put baking soda in my water. And it still doesn't work that well. But using this power cooker is the way that I have found to make perfectly gorgeous boiled eggs using fresh eggs. I'm not talking about the store-bought ones because they don't even qualify as an egg in my opinion. So I'm going to show you what I do to make hard-boiled eggs come out and the shell come off easily. It's so simple. But one thing I want to mention is I don't wash my eggs when I get them from my chickens. They sit on my counter unwashed, even if they're muddy. Unless I wash them. If they're muddy, I'll wash them and put mineral oil on them to store them on my counter. I don't refrigerate my eggs. But before I use a fresh egg, no matter if it's new, if I just got it today, if I got it yesterday, if I got it last week, the first thing that I'm going to do before I use a fresh egg, even for my own girls who I know don't get any funkiness, before I use a fresh egg, I'm going to do the float test. Now, I've mentioned this before in another video, how to test if a fresh egg is good or not. And it's called the float, F-L-O-A-T. All of the eggs that I use, before I use them, I float them. And let me show you. These are my fresh eggs from my chickens. In order to know if that egg is good or not, I'm going to perform a float test on my eggs. This is just a bowl of cold water. It's a Bluebonnet bowl. It's one of my fine bowls, and this is what I use to do my float test. So I've got it filled up with water. When you take this egg and you drop it in the water, do you see how it sinks? That tells me that egg is still a good egg. I will test the egg before I use it. I'm going to do 4 eggs today because I'm making these for work. So when you put the egg in the water, if it stands up on its end, but it's still at the bottom, it's still a good egg, but it's not as fresh as these. These are laying down flat on their side. If you put that egg in that water and it goes down to the bottom and it slowly comes back up to the top, that egg is not any good. I would not recommend cracking that egg to use for any purpose whatsoever. Take that egg and put it in the trash. I do a float test on all eggs that I use because they sit on my counter until I use them. So these are all good. So these are good to go. Alright, so let me show you what I do to make my hard-boiled eggs. This is my power cooker. It's an electronic pressure cooker. I don't know if you can use like a regular pressure cooker to make hard-boiled eggs this way, but this is how I do it, and it's so easy and they turn out perfect. So I'm going to unlock it and take the lid off. Okay, in this container, in the inner container of the power cooker, there's a rack that goes down in it to be able to steam stuff. So I'm going to put this rack down in here, and my eggs, I'm going to sit down in here on this rack. Just like that. And I'm going to set this inner container in the power cooker. So I'm going to take 2 cups of water, and I'm just going to pour that in the bottom of the power cooker. I'm going to put the lid on it. Put it in the lock position right here. When you put your lid on the power cooker, you put it in the unlock position. I'm going to change it around to lock. And the seal that's on top, I'm going to move to close. On the front of the power cooker, I'm going to choose the rice option. I'm going to go all the way past 30 to 6. So I want hard-boiled eggs that are not soft in the center. If you want soft-boiled eggs, you would change this to 3. 3 minutes is all it takes. But I want mine solid all the way through, so I'm going to do it for 6 minutes. Okay, so the power cooker just went off. And when it finishes its time, it automatically goes to a keep warm cycle. So I'm going to push that and turn it off. And then I'm going to come up here and I'm going to release this steam so I can open it. So all the steam is gone from the power cooker. So I'm able to open the lid. I'm going to open it away from me because it's going to be really, really, really god-awful hot. So right here, I have an ice bath of water. So I'm going to take my eggs and I'm going to drop them in this ice bath of water to stop the cooking process and to slow them down. Cool them down, I mean. Not slow them down, cool them down. So that I can peel them. So, come on over here to the sink and I'll show you what they look like. So, they've been sitting in water for just a minute. So they should be cool enough to handle now. So anybody that tries to peel a fresh egg knows what I mean when I say that it's a difficult thing to do. It's difficult to peel fresh eggs to make them come out looking pretty enough to serve in like a deviled egg recipe where if your egg is all chopped up and chewed up, is that not beautiful? They come out that way pretty much every time. So this is the only way that I've been able to find to peel fresh eggs and make them come out looking decent. I just thought some of you would find that helpful because I found it extremely helpful. So that's it for me. Until next time, I'll see you later.